Okay, what the hell? Movie review time, because we got a new Marvel movie, new MCU. Surprise, surprise, it's good. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yeah, surprise, surprise, Marvel made another good movie. Now this one didn't go through the delays Black Widow did. This one I think was going to come out in February originally of this year. And now it's the very rare movie that's getting a big release on Labor Day weekend. It's pretty good. It's not in my top list of MCU movies. I mean, it's a hard list to crack to get way up there. I think this is pretty good though. I think just about everybody's gonna like it. Who knows on rankings? I mean, could put it in the bottom third, and it's still a good movie. So I'm not gonna do the plot. Everyone can find out the plot on their own. I mean, we know this one is talked about because it's the first Asian lead in the MCU. I think the guy's name is Simu Liu. I'm probably butchering that name. He's really good. I don't really know of anything he's been in before, but he's very good in this. I don't know a lot of the other actors either, but they're all pretty good. This movie doesn't have necessarily a villain. It's more of an antagonist situation. It's Shang-Chi's dad is kind of the antagonist here, but he has a redemption thing. So that actor's very good. I would have liked a little more maybe from the sister. Shang-Chi's got a sister. She doesn't get a lot to do. She gets to do some good action stuff, but not necessarily a lot for character. The big one that was worrying me going in was Aquafina, because I mean, she's okay. But a little of her sometimes can go a long way, and I was kind of worried. I didn't laugh at anything from her in any of the trailers. She kind of seemed like she was maybe going to be an annoying character. She's fine. She gets some good laughs. She gets some good comic relief. I think she's used very well. I'm still not a huge fan, but I think she's used okay in this, and she certainly doesn't take away from anything. I think she gives some good comic relief. I won't go into spoilers because I like that this was the first MCU movie really since it became the MCU that I pretty much went in not necessarily not knowing anything, but I didn't really know a lot. Like I'm not familiar with the character. Obviously the Ten Rings thing we knew from back in first Iron Man, that was mentioned, and then obviously there was some Iron Man 3 stuff. So no spoilers. There is one character. I suppose I can mention that Wong is in this because he was in the. They used him in some of the promotional stuff for this. Love Wong. Wong isn't in it a lot. It's not like a Doctor Strange movie, but he's very entertaining in the stuff that he's in this movie. There is one other character who is brought back from a previous movie. Not a character that most people liked, at least not in the way it was. They used them. I'll try to keep it mysterious. And not necessarily from a movie that most people liked the most. I probably could have done without them doing that in this movie. Like there's a couple good parts with this character in this, and I liked them more than I liked them in the previous version. I'm really trying here. But I could have done with that. They could have done the whole movie without this character, and it would have would have been very easy to do, I think, because they are especially kind of out of place later in the movie, so it's hard to not do spoilers. I probably like the first 45 minutes of the movie are, I think, the best part of the movie, because there's some really good fight scenes. Like, they really, like, if you're gonna say, hey, the MCU is gonna do a martial arts movie, well, you really want them to deliver on the fight scenes, and they really do. There's some really, really good fight scenes. In the first third of this movie, and there's good fight scenes later, but then there's a little more CGI in the fights, so it just takes away a little bit of just the entertainment value of watching them. But yeah, they really deliver on the fight scenes. I would say the middle third of the movie, it gets bogged down a little bit. There's maybe one or two too many flashbacks, and there's a lot of exposition that they got to get through. And then there's also it's the old characters got to get a thing so that they can do a thing. Some of that stuff could go either way. I thought it was fine in this. I think the middle third of the movie is just okay. It knocks the movie down a little bit for me, because I wasn't bored, but I was kind of like, all right, come on, let's just move it along. Then third act, obviously, there's always a big action climax, and there is here too. This one is good. It gets a little overdone with some of the CGI stuff, but it ain't bad. It's not bad. It's not a badly done CGI explosion. But again, it's hard to get those Marvel movies at the top of the list here. I would put this one down more just on my own personal list, probably in the bottom 5 or 6 for me. But those are still good. For most of those are still some good movies. I liked it better than a few. There's a few MCU movies I would put under this, but I like them all at least a little bit. But yeah, I would probably say this is one of the funnier, one of the more comedic MCU movies, at least recently. It's not like jokes all the time, but there's a lot of comedy in it. So not too much to say. Great post credit, very good post credit. Let's go. Actually, I would say it's one of the better. The mid credit one is one of the better post credits that they've had in a long time. So that's I would definitely put that one up there. And I also like that a certain character pops up in the post credit scene that's going to make a certain selection of the fanboys out there mad. And then there's the absolute post credit scene, which it's kind of set up, but I'm sure they'll be doing something with that in the future. I think they're definitely, this movie seems to be pretty well received, and I think it did pretty good business for the first night previews. So I think it'll do well. Obviously, nothing's really doing that well these days. I mean, it's all graded on a curve with everything going on, but I think this will do pretty well. I think people will like it, and I think they'll be in a position where they can make more of these movies. I think I recognize the director's name. I think he's the guy who made Short Term 12, which is not at all like this movie, but pretty good job for a guy who's not known for action. I don't believe he's ever done an action movie. So yeah, I guess I always do a number when I do these. I would give this one probably nice strong 7.5 for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So next MCU after this, which they showed the trailer for, this is Eternals. We got a couple months to go on that. That I think is going to be superb. And then of course Spider-Man, which is going to be just unbelievable. So yes, good movie.